I'm malevolent. Is hip-hop dead or alive? What a question. The only thing dead is that fucking expression. Too many songs cliched out. One thing works, we all go the same route.
For the second week of Bubble Flavor, we have here Silent Night. So I'm going to introduce him to y'all who do not know him, and we're going to get to know more about his music and a little bit more about his personal side. So to start off, can you just introduce yourself?
My name is Silent Night. I'm an MC, performing artist from Brooklyn, New York, by way of Jersey, and all over the place.
All over the place. Okay, so the first time that I knew about you was from the Rawkus 50. And that's when I first listened to Hunger Strike, I think, and that's when I got more into your work. So I know that now you're working with Fuse, but how did you go from, you know, I know you're still a solo artist as well.
Yeah.
So how is it different from working as a solo artist and working with this band?
I've known them since like '03, like before Hunger Strike and everything. They're from New Brunswick, New Jersey, and I would, me and my old group at the time would do shows with them. And just eventually, like, here and there, just seeing each other and doing shows, their frontman ended up having to leave. And we just they started doing shows where it'll be like 10 different artists playing with the band. And the band will learn their music, and it'll be like, you know, a whole bunch of different artists. And we kind of just naturally vibed and had like good chemistry and stuff like that. From there, we just it just kept building. We started working on stuff in the studio, and yeah. So.
And you all are working on a project now together, correct?
Yeah, we released one project called Soul Rebels Volume 1. It's like a compilation, so I'm on like half of it. I have 3 solo songs, 3 collabs, and it's just available on the website fuseplanet.com, and there should be a shortened version, maybe like an EP, digitally out. It's not out yet.
Okay. And I know Fuse also categorized himself as rock and rap.
Yeah.
So how is that, you know, fusion for you? Have you been like into rock?
Everybody pretty much has been in rock bands, whether it's like metal or just like funk and soul, like different type of heavier stuff. Whereas me, I've been doing hip hop, you know, for a while, and just doing that. So some of the stuff when I even had heard other bands in the past, I'd be like, all right, it sounds kind of cool, but like the MC just sounds like they're not really MCing, or like they're just like, yo, I'm here with a band, you know what I mean? Like some real simple, like, and like for us, I think, which we all agree, and hopefully, you know, it seems like the, you know, supporters and everybody agrees that it comes from a real place.
Like, what made you want to get into doing music, you know? Who was the main...
Originally it was always more of hip-hop. Like, I used to listen to my parents, like, salsa music, or, like, old, whatever they were listening to, like, house and some other stuff. But originally, like, I wasn't listening to rock at all or nothing. It was, like, hip-hop, and kind of grew up into it. And one of my main influences was my brother, which is, like, he's, like, 2 years older than me. And he was rhyming. But, you know, but then he really started getting more into it. And he was, like, always one of my main inspirations as far as that, like, him pushing me personally to write, or just listening to him. And then it was, like, Wu-Tang was like, it was 93. I was 10 years old in 93, I remember. When I first heard Wu-Tang, like, Protect Your Neck and METHOD, man, like, their first singles, I was like, I didn't know, it was, I can't even describe the feeling of it. I was like, what is it? And I used to listen to that day in and day out.
Speaking of, they will be at, you know, Rock the Bells.
They will be at Rock the Bells. Yeah, they will.
36
performing that album. That album.
Front to
36
back.
Chambers, yeah. I mean, at that time, it was, you know, like I said, Nas, Wu, even like Mobb Deep, and a whole bunch I probably can't think of. Then a little bit later on, it was like Big Pun and like Cannabis and Eminem on some like real lyrical stuff. And then it was like Black Star, Mos Def, Kweli, Dead Prez, Common, like stuff like that.
Yeah. So, do you listen to like upcoming artists now? Like, who do you think are the most influential coming up? Because I think there's a few. I think there's a lot of people who are being, you know, kind of looked over because, you know, with the new generation, they're saying there's really no one coming up because it's kind of, you know. But I disagree.
I disagree too.
What do you think?
I disagree too. I always. And whenever I hear people talking about, like, some people, you know, it's okay to, like, look back and be like, oh, the golden ages of hip-hop and, like, you know, it used to be so good and, you know what I mean? But it's another thing to, like, say that, oh, everything is whack now. I'm like, to me, there's the main problem, which a lot of people, I think, are aware of and talk about, is that, it's, like, the exposure that it gets. A lot of it, anyway. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. Like, there's definitely an imbalance on the radio and on TV of a certain type of stuff, and so that's a problem, But as far as, like, there actually being talented MCs and, like, talented people, there's tons of them, in my opinion. Definitely. Jay Electronica is, like, one of my favorite cats right now. I've known him for, like, known about him for a few years already. And it's, you know, that's dope to see, like,
other people realizing.
Like, more and more, a lot of people realizing. Playing in, you know, they've been playing on Hot 97. Like, you know, hear more and more people talk about him. People ask me, yo, you heard of this cat? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, so that's dope to see. Jay Electronica, Homeboy Sandman is one of my personal favorites and a friend of mine. He just had an album release party a couple days ago that I went to. The Good Son, out now. High Water Music, shout out to High Water Music. But yeah, Homeboy Sandman is another favorite. My boy Star Martial Law. Other favorites of mine that just off the top of my head is like Brother Ali from Minneapolis, Blue from Cali, BLU. Elzai from Slum Village, J. Cole was dope.
North Carolina, another shout out.
North Carolina, yes.
So are you working on anything new that's coming out that we should be looking out for?
Yes, definitely. The next project is an EP solely produced by Analogic, who's a producer I've been working with for a while. Since even before Hunger Strike, like since my whole solo career pretty much. Analogic has had a beat or multiple beats on like every project. So and he's done a lot of good stuff too himself, and we've been talking about it for a while. I'm supposed to do a project, but now we're finally it's in the works. It's almost there. So that's in the works, and I feel excited about that.
Great.
Yeah.